Mr. Speaker, I rise today on behalf of this PLP government to provide a fiscal update to this Honorable House and to the people of Bermuda. This update is provided in advance of the release of the pre-budget report and the report of the Fiscal Responsibility Panel, which will be presented to the Cabinet on Tuesday and made public next week. Before turning to the performance of the current fiscal year, I will review the results from the last fiscal year, 2024-25. Mr. Speaker, I must advise honorable members that the annual audit has been completed, and notwithstanding that the financial statements are not ready for tabling in this Honorable House today, the figures I provide for the last fiscal year will not be estimates, but will be actual audited amounts. Mr. Speaker, total revenue for fiscal year 2024-25 was $1.27 billion, which is $40.4 million above the original estimate. Continued economic growth, including $32.1 million more in payroll tax receipts than originally forecast, contributed significantly to this positive result. Current account expenditure was $1 billion. $10.7 million above the original estimate. This amount of $10.1 million is far less than the combined amounts of the mid-year review to strengthen social community programs that was done last year and the public officers' pay increase totaling $38 million, meaning savings in other areas offset these increases. Capital expenditure for the year ended at $103.6 million, $8.8 million below the original estimate. Mr. Speaker, I am pleased to advise this Honorable House that the confirmed budget surplus for fiscal year 2024-25 is $29.8 million, an improvement of $29.5 million from the original estimate of $230,000 and $10.1 million higher than the revised estimate contained in May's budget statement.
Yes, sir.
Say it again. Mr. Speaker, I am pleased to advise this Honorable House that the budget surplus for fiscal year 2024-25 is now confirmed to be $29.8 million, an improvement of $29.5 million from the original estimate of $230,000 and $10.1 million higher than the revised estimate contained in May's budget statement. Mr. Speaker, they said it could not be done. But once again, this progressive Labour Party government has confounded the critics and delivered the first budget surplus since 2003. There is no wonder, Mr. Speaker, that the Fiscal Responsibility Panel said, and I quote, "Fiscal performance strengthened significantly in 2024-25. This is because the PLP government has a firm grip on the country's finances and continues to deliver better than expected financial results." Mr. Speaker, turning now to the current fiscal year 2025-26. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Finance's mid-year assessment indicates that total revenue for 2025-26 is now projected to be $1.47 billion, an increase of $38.3 million above the original budgeted figure of $1.43 billion. This improvement is driven by stronger non-corporate income tax revenues, which are now forecast to increase by $26 million to $1.27 billion compared to the original estimate of $1.24 billion, Mr. Speaker. A significant component of this improved revenue projection is continued labor market strength and job growth, leading to a projected increase in payroll tax collections of $15.3 million from the original estimate of $621.7 million to $637 million. Mr. Speaker, the ministry is also revising its projection for corporate income tax receipts for the first time. Based on feedback from the corporate income tax agencies, corporate income tax receipts for this fiscal year are now projected at $200 million, an increase of $12.5 million above the original estimate of $187.5 million. Mr. Speaker, the supplementary estimate table last week provided additional funding for priority programs across government. As a result, total current account expenditure is now projected to be $1.13 billion, which is $17 million above the original estimate of $1.1 billion. Interest and guarantee management costs remain stable at $127.5 million, consistent with budget expectations. Capital accounts expenditure is now projected at $154.2 million, $4.4 million above the original allocation of $149.8 million, reflecting the additional amounts awarded during the supplementary budget round. Mr. Speaker, the revised budget surplus for fiscal year 2025-26 is now forecast to be $59.8 million, an improvement of over $60 million from the original budgeted figure of $43.3 million. Mr. Speaker, it should be noted that even without a boost to CIT receipts, the projected surplus would have been above the original estimate from May's budget, including the supplementary estimate, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, these results do not stand on their own. They reflect broader economic progress supported by this government's policies. Recent official data confirms that Bermuda's economy expanded for a fourth consecutive year, with real GDP growing 1.9% in 2024 and the nominal value of the economy rising by 6.9% to reach approximately $7.1 billion. Growth was broad-based with strong contributions from international business, construction, health services, information and communications, and other key sectors. GDP per capita increased to $143,878, indicating a rise in economic output per person. Mr. Speaker, this positive macroeconomic performance is translating into improved outcomes for Bermudians in the workforce. The most recent labor force survey reports unemployment at 1.4%, down from 2.8% in the previous year. Bermudian unemployment declined to 1.3%, and youth unemployment fell sharply to 3.4%, down from 13.5% a year earlier. Employment rate has risen to 82.8%, labor force participation stands at 84.1%, and median annual income has increased to $75,718. Mr. Speaker, these are not abstract statistics. They represent Bermudians finding jobs, earning better wages, and fully participating in Bermuda's economy. Mr. Speaker, it is also important to underscore that the continued strength of the labor market and the continued expansion of our economy are directly connected to the decisions that this government has made. Decisions to reduce taxes for workers and local business, the decision to execute on Bermuda's economic recovery plan, and the decision to implement the youth employment strategy. This government has reduced the payroll burden for workers to the lowest level in history while strengthening protections for workers. At the same time, we invested in Bermudians through expanded training, increased apprenticeships, and more scholarships. The results I shared today prove that this government's economic plan has stabilized public financing, earning Bermuda ratings upgrades and international commendation. Mr. Speaker, as we move towards the next fiscal year, this government will continue to demonstrate fiscal prudence and responsible stewardship of the public purse. We remain focused on supporting our people, investing in critical services, and deploying the results of improved budgetary performance into even more investment in Bermuda and Bermudians. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.